Okay, we have peeled, cored, and diced our peaches. You see the size of the dice? And my hands are clean, by the way. Let me tell this little story while I'm talking about my hands. I remember I visited an MGT class several years ago, and the sisters wanted to treat me to lunch, and of course they treated me to a manicure because I think they thought by being on the farm I didn't know about manicures. However, I was a kind of diva years ago.
Before I met you?
Yes, before I found real life.
Before you got captured and brought to the farm?
And I knew about manicures long ago, facials and all that stuff. But being on the farm, it would be useless because my hands are always in the dirt, in something, in water, doing lots of work. So I don't have time. Even when I go, I'm disappointed because I just go and get just a plain cuticle conditioning and no nail polish, and they don't seem to like that because that's not any money. So I just do what I do at home. And the nail polish is not safe when you are putting your hands in food all the time. So that's another reason. So we have our peaches here. I ended up with 25 cups of diced peaches. Now the recipe calls for, the recipe I'm using I had to adjust from the 8 cups that it was designed for to my 25 cups. So to this, my husband just asked, you're not going to add any water? Well, at this point, you don't need to add any water. I'm adding the fruit pectin to this 25 cups. This little jar is supposed to do 22 half pints. What I'm hoping to get out of this is at least 27 half pints. So I'm going to add this full jar of pectin in addition to about 3 tablespoons out of this next jar. Now, and to this, the recipe called, if I'm going to do it exactly according to the recipe, tripling that recipe, it would have called for 21 cups of sugar. However, in using Demerara sugar, which I don't use white sugar for any of my baking or applications, the granules are so large you can reduce the amount of sugar. So I've measured out 12 cups of sugar. And of course I can adjust that for when I need to. No, I don't add my sugar yet, just my lemon juice. To this I'm going to add, that's what happens when you're talking and trying to work at the same time.
Well, it ain't my fault.
And I don't have Martha Stewart's helpers around me to say, you know, no, not yet. So to this I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of lemon juice. And this is an organic lemon juice that I have found. And the reason I'm using bottled lemon juice, as I explained earlier, some people will think, you know, they're doing a much better job by trying to squeeze fresh lemons. But by this already being on the market, organic, it has been tested. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know it has the proper acidity. So what I'll do is mix this, and I'm going to start the cooking process. I'm going to cook this, let it come to a boil, which should take a couple of minutes. And what I'm using here
When do you put the
is
sugar in?
I put the sugar in after this comes to a boil.
Okay.
Once this comes to a boil, then I will add my sugar
Oh, okay.
and bring it to a second boil.
Okay.
Don't let me confuse you, viewers. At this stage, I just added the pectin and the lemon juice. Now I'm going to begin the cooking process. What I have here is an induction cooktop. And the induction cooktop is really, really good.